All right, John Rhys, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. Yeah, so first week into spring ball, I'm just asking Coach Lindsay, I mean, you've been primarily a wide receiver for the last 18 months, so I know you've always been a quarterback at heart.
That's right.
So how did it feel like kind of jumping back into being a full-time quarterback?
Amazing. You know, I think that's where my heart's always been, you know, growing up. It's always what I love to do. And to be able to do it again, to be able to get back behind center, it's truly a blessing and something that I love to do.
Do you feel a little rust, though, or what are some things you think you need to be working on?
That's right. I mean, I think there's always going to be a little rust after you take a little bit of time off, you know, always stuff that you can clean up. I think obviously a pocket presence, getting depth on drops, you know, make sure you can maneuver back there while still keeping your eyes downfield and making good throws, I think is always something that you can work on. But like you said, yeah, there's always going to be little parts of your game that, man, I can clean this up, I can clean this up, I can clean this up. But when you haven't done it in a while, there's little pieces of rust I guess get a little bit bigger, so.
You are one of the newer additions to the quarterback room, but you're also one of the older players in the quarterback room. Is that like a leadership role that you've taken on as well?
Yeah, I try to. You know, I feel like some of the stuff that I've learned from being under Coach Levy and Coach Kiffin and even from Coach Rhys my freshman year, I feel like I kind of have a pretty good grasp of what's going on scheme-wise. Of course, like Coach Lindsay said, there's always like aha stuff that like you learn from different coaching staffs, and there's been multiple aha moments for me, you know, because these guys obviously offensive-minded and you're always learning, you know. And so to answer the question, I try to be the leader, you know, try to be a leader in there. And but right now it's just really been getting to know the guys and being around those dudes, and they're all great guys for sure.
Has there been a moment maybe through the first 4 days, I think we just use the word aha moment, where you kind of felt like, man, I'm back at quarterback, things are clicking, I just made a great play. Like, has that moment happened for you yet?
Yeah, I think so. You know, once you're back there, you make a good throw, it's like, man, this is great. Like back doing what you love doing. But you know, as you know, the quarterback position, you got to have a short memory. Whether it's you're doing good or you're doing bad, you got to flip the page, you know, go to the next play. And so then you can come back to it on film and say, yeah, I looked pretty good right there. Didn't look very good there. Coach Rhys, my freshman year, used to always say you never look as good on film and you never look as bad as you do. And so that's always seemed to be the truth.
As a two-sport athlete, how are you balancing between the two?
So this is my first time ever doing spring, ever. I've always been baseball in the spring, and so this year obviously the waiver didn't go through, so I couldn't participate in baseball competition. But it's all about time management, you know. And so football's in the mornings, baseball's in the afternoons, and so primarily my focus have shifted a little bit just because football is the next season. But it doesn't mean that I'm still not over there with the guys, hitting every once in a while, trying to keep the rust off of the baseball swing, you know. And so although my focus has shifted a little bit, I'm still trying to play that balance of being, you know.
Tiring?
Say again?
Is it tiring?
Every once in a while, you know, but then you go back to 7-year-old John Rhys. What did 7-year-old John Rhys want to do? I want to play football and baseball at the highest level, and I'm getting to do that. I feel truly blessed to get to do that. In those days that, man, you get out of bed and your body's aching, you feel tired, like, man, I just want to hit the snooze this time. It's like 7-year-old John Rhys wouldn't be able to sleep, you know what I mean? And so that's what I always go back to.
Has there been any wide receivers standing out to you?
Obviously, yeah. The guys, O'Keefe and Flash, are just obviously amazing receivers. You know, those guys can really run routes, can really catch, you know. But like Coach Lindsay said, I think JG has really been a big piece in this thing. And obviously Kobe coming along from Auburn, he's obviously a great talent. Those guys have really, really stood out to me. Jordan as well. Amari, great route runner, really quick, has a really good feel. And so I think we got the opportunity to have really good depth. It's just about making sure everybody's developing at the high rate. You know what I mean? And so obviously we're probably going to rotate guys, but I think we have the depth to do it. You know what I mean?
You look back to 7-year-old John Rhys, who said you want to play football and baseball. Was that a goal you always had to play both sports? Like, I know Bo Jackson's before your time. I know you posed for a kind of a Bo Jackson-esque picture when you got to Ole Miss. But is that something you thought about at a young age? You want to try to play both?
Yeah, I mean, people always ask me, like, what do you like better, football or baseball? You got to pick one at some point. What's it going to be? And my answer is always, I'm going to ride this thing until I can. Until somebody says you are not allowed to do it anymore. I want to play football and baseball until I can. And it's worked out so far, you know, and we'll see what the next chapter brings. But for from right now, it's working pretty good.
Was that crushing for you, though? Disappointing that you weren't able to play this year in terms of baseball?
It breaks my heart. Baseball was my first love. Obviously started playing baseball earlier than you do football. Breaks my heart. But I know God's got a plan through it. It's already written, and so even though it breaks my heart, and I wanted to play, I know that God's got a greater plan.
You know what Mikey Keene did here last season, Gasparilla Bowl win. How do you see this quarterback competition and how you fit into it?
Obviously, Mikey's a great talent. Obviously a stud of a dude, knows the game really, really well, has the arm to make all the throws, has the athletic ability to get out of the pocket and make plays with his feet as well. And so it's been really, really fun to compete with Mikey, to compete with Tommy, and compete with Parker and all those guys. And I think it takes everybody's game to the next level when you put competition into the mix. Everybody is forced to get better, or it doesn't work out. And so to have the opportunity to compete against somebody like Mikey is truly a blessing, and it's also really fun to be able to do as well.
Do you think you're making him better?
I hope so, because I know he's making me better, and so I guess I would have to be a question for Mikey, but I know he's making me better, so I hope I'm doing the same for him.
Have you gotten to use your wheels at all yet this year?
Not as much, because quarterbacks aren't live, and so you're trying to make plays with your arm and stuff. And so I got out of the pocket one time today and tried to make a run, and Newt over there was on the defense, and I acted like he wasn't going to tackle me, and he wasn't hearing it. He was mad that I was talking to him, acting like he was going to tackle me. But to answer your question, not really. We'll see if they let us go live or what that deal is going to be, but not yet.
If you had to pick either a player or a play today, like what was the highlight of practice?
Today, huh? Threw a deep ball, one-on-ones. Amari ran a really good inside fade route and beat the guy over the top. And when they're that open, you just throw it, And he obviously makes a great catch and would have been a touchdown. And so really good to see those guys get that open. It makes it easy on everybody. You know what I mean? When those dudes can do it like that.
How are you doing learning the playbook?
It's going pretty good, almost everywhere. Everybody's going to have inside zone, insert zone, split zone, and all the variations of that. And so it's just about learning terminology, But then you go into the pass game stuff, and everybody's stuff is a little bit different as far as quick game, RPOs, drop back stuff. And so it's just learning how they want us working through progressions, how they want us looking at defenses pre-snap and post-snap. And so just learning the way that they think so that you can be on the same page as them. And so coming along pretty good, not near where I want to be yet. Obviously you want to get better and be on the same page and pick at their brains, but getting better.
You say you're learning from everybody you've worked with before. Is there a little clutter, though, that comes with that?
No, not really. It's like some coaches like this and some coaches like that, and so you just got to figure out how they think. And so that goes back to just picking at their brain and seeing how they want you thinking so that everybody can be on the same page.
You guys got your first scrimmage, right, this upcoming Saturday.
That's right.
What do you want to accomplish in your first full scrimmage this spring?
Obviously want to compete, in the scrimmages it's always offense versus defense. Want to bring a lot of energy, and I want the offense to win. I want the offense to score a bunch of points. And so however that looks, whatever that looks like, I want the offense to score a bunch of points.
Do you want to be live on Saturday with show off your wheels?
I always love being live just because I get the opportunity to make plays with my feet. But it's going to be on them. They're going to have the say so in that. But if it's up to me, I would want to go live. But ultimately, it's up to them.
What are you seeing from Tommy at quarterback? Obviously, a lot of kids are going to be going you and Mikey this spring. He's a young guy, should still be a senior in high school. How has he looked early on?
He's a stud. There's no doubt about it. He really, really athletic. I think he's a lot like me coming out of high school. I think the first couple of days, his head was kind of spinning a little bit, but now he's starting to settle in, and game's starting to move slower for him. But freaky athlete, really good arm, really good legs. He's going to be a player for sure.
Appreciate it.
Also,
Thanks a lot, John.
Yeah,
Good luck to you.
God bless.